Hello, hello. It is day 268 of my 365-day raw suspending disbelief journey. Today is January 15th, 2025. I can't believe we're already halfway through January. This is ridiculous, you guys. So today was a no sports day, but it was, well, I was talking yesterday about connection with the kids and being really present with the kids. And it feels like that realization and energetic shift has already started to have an impact. My oldest came to me with some concerns and things she wanted to talk about that were quite deep and heavy, and I'm not going to go into those on here. That's her personal business, but it feels like I opened up the energetic pathway for her to feel connected enough to come and speak to me about what she was going through and what's going on. So counting that as already proof of this whole new focus of suspending disbelief, of this being my priority and what matters most in the world to me. Because I've always wanted to be my kids' safe space that they could come to. And it hasn't necessarily felt like that a lot with Cadence lately. And I maybe erroneously pin that on her age, on being a teenager and all of these things. And I think that we maybe erroneously do that with teenagers in general. I think that, yes, it is a natural progression for them to, start to connect more with their friends and less with their family as they get older, because they are coming into their own personality and who they are and who they want to be in their life. And as they grow up and move into having their own families and, all of that kind of stuff. But I think that too often we just sort of blow it off as this is inevitable and we can't be deeply connected with our teenagers and have great relationships with them. And I just don't think that that's true. And like when I really sit and think about it, I don't believe that that's true. And I want to also suspend disbelief that that's not how it needs to be for anyone, but especially for me and my daughter. And that even though we've had rough years as she was growing up, and even though I wasn't as present with her throughout her early years as I wanted to be, and even though we've both struggled with depression and there's been some really hard times that have come up for both of us in her life, that doesn't mean that we've lost our chance or that we can't have this incredibly deep, fulfilling relationship together. And we already do have a pretty great one, but I just, guys, I'm sorry. I'm still super emotional today. I'm still very much in this energy. So, it makes me think of the song from The Greatest Showman, Never Enough. It's never enough. And it's not. I don't think it will ever be enough. And that's not about like, oh, I can never succeed. It's just that there's always more to strive for as far as connection with our kids goes. And when we have it, it is so fulfilling and it feels so amazing. And I'm so grateful that she came to me tonight. And I also have that confirmation of, yeah, this is supposed to be my priority right now. So yeah, that's, there's my real and raw for you guys. I cried 2 episodes in a row. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. And this is supposed to be real and raw. So that is what it is. As confusing as this track feels for me, and I know a lot of my focus, even in this podcast, has been on, financial success. That has been a lot of what I was suspending disbelief about. And I'm making a big shift here. Okay, my microphone got cut off there for a second. I'm not sure. Hopefully I pick up and it makes sense from what I was just saying, because it took me a bit to get connected again. So I was saying how it really feels like confirmation that, um, that I am supposed to be prioritizing this, that this is what I should be suspending disbelief about, and all of that. And it really, I feel like today was just such a confirmation of that. I had reset my hours for my business coaching membership and changed them to today for the afternoon hours instead of Tuesdays, because Tuesdays are all of our activities and we have to like run out the door after school. And it's just too much for me to try to do my business coaching office hours at the same time as prepping for that full evening of activities. So I switched it. But then today I had been talking to the kids before, not today, sorry, but I had been talking to the kids before about how there's all these other swim times, and we all got gym memberships and can go to the family swims or the member swim times at any time. It's all included in our membership. And I had said, like, yeah, we can go extra times. I've realized that, oh my gosh, we're already driving there 3 times a week for multiple activities each time. And it is exhausting and we're all extra tired. And yes, I think we will get more used to it. But at the same time, I haven't been at all thinking, oh, I want to go take extra trips out there and just go swimming for fun. But swimming is something that we all really love to do. Well, Cadence says she doesn't anymore, but she's hitting that age, so who knows? But we always really love spending time in the water, and whether that's in a lake or in a pool, we love it. And or in the ocean for myself. My kids haven't experienced that yet, and hopefully I can give them that experience in 2025. But another thing to suspend disbelief about. But I realized, like, I've been saying that and we haven't even tried. And so one of the things that's happening this week that is really also contributing to I feel like I can't get any work done and have any time to myself or all of these things, is that it's called CUPE, I believe is the union name. I don't know how they say that, but the EAs, so the educational assistants and the special needs assistants and all of that at the schools in our district are on strike. And so they are, there are a lot of students who are special needs who need those aids there, who are not able to attend school right now. And Casey's preschool class is actually based around a special needs programming. So it is completely canceled for the time being. And she's just home all the time. And as much as I love my daughter and I, have been saying that I want to be super present and all of that, those couple of hours a day were integral to the way that I was running my business at this point ever since September. And it has not been easy to try to maintain even the most basic of work stuff while she's been home, on top of the absolute exhaustion that was going on and the extracurriculars that we've added in, and just all of the things. So it's been a lot. And that's just a fact. That's not complaining. That it's just actually been really a lot. It's been really tough to sort of balance it all. And I've been doing a pretty good job. I'm not at all bringing myself down about that, but it is, it's definitely been tougher. And anyways, so she's been home the last few days. And today I was like, oh my gosh, she's so used to now having, that couple of hours or almost 3 hours of entertainment by other human beings than mom. And, she's, yes, I'm saying, like, I want to be more present with her and I want to do crafts with her and I want to do, whatever, all of these things, but I also want to have other experiences with her. And she, of all my kids, loves swimming probably the most and loves being in the water. And like, she would have a bath every day for 3 hours if I let her, and maybe even twice, right? Because she just loves it. She loves being in the water. and that's her happy place. And um, for anyone who's wondering, no, she's actually not a water sign. She's an air sign. She's a Gemini. But at least her sun sign, I might be wrong about. She might have rising or moon or whatever. Anyways, that's off topic, but she loves the water so much. And I've been saying, like, she and I could go swimming during the days because there's a lot of swim times during the day. And the other two are at school. And why shouldn't we do that? I work for myself. I can set my own hours and, all of these things. And it felt like with all of the heaviness of everything else for the last while and everything, I just was like, I really, really want to go out, go swimming, get her out of the house, away from the TV, and stop trying to work while she's here constantly. Not at all. Like, I will have to work while she's here, but instead of sort of mixing being present with her with work time, and again, that being that superficial presentness, instead of that, instead just being completely present with her for a decent chunk of time and then getting some work done after the fact. And I mean, that didn't happen today, but after the fact, it did. It was really tough. It was very broken up, and it went, quite a ways into the evening because I did have to get my office hours done and answer some of the coaching questions that were being asked and whatnot. But it was, it felt like it was such a priority. It was just like, I need to do this. I need to, whatever. So we went swimming. All of that to say, we went swimming. And it was so much fun. Like, it was literally just me and her in the pool. The entire pool was ours. Like, there was nobody else really there because, most kids are in school and whatever. And I was surprised that there weren't like more, moms with toddlers and babies and whatever there. There wasn't any. We were the only ones. And actually, when we got into the building and I looked into the pool, like, both the teach pool, like the kiddie pool, and the main pool were completely empty. The water was like perfectly still, not a ripple in sight, right? And I was just like, oh my gosh, are we even going to be allowed to go in and swim? And I thought maybe I got the times mixed up or whatever. And it was like, nope, you're good. Just usually nobody comes at this time. And so we went in, and there ended up being like a few people that went into the main pool to do laps and, things like that. But we were the only ones in the teach pool and in the kiddie pool playing. And we just had a blast. And it was like, it was such a good connection time. And, she, of all my kids especially, has been really tired this last week and a half because she's not used to getting a little bit less sleep and having this much physical activity and all of this, because honestly, we've been sitting on our butts. That's why I said I needed a movement coach and get moving too, right? And it was just such a nice change of pace for us. And I think I will try to make that a weekly thing, maybe not on Wednesdays because that's supposed to be my business office hours, but like from now on, but we'll see. Maybe I'll just shift around my hours again. I'm not sure. And I will make that a priority because, and really, like, we went swimming, we took some donations in, we went and, I had to go get a phone cord for the car because my phone was dying and my other one crapped out and whatever. So we went into like a Shoppers Drug Mart and just went in to grab a phone cord, and she was like, I really want a treat. So I was like, okay, you can pick a treat. But then I told her to pick one for her brother and sister too. So she picked one for each of them. And she was so thoughtful with it, and it was so sweet. And then she crashed on the way home and was just so tired. She didn't even hear her brother and sister get in the car when we picked them up on the way back from school. She didn't hear when we arrived home, sort of any of it. She just was like, out, completely out. And I had to sort of semi-wake her up to get her out of the car, and she just laid on me and was like so out of it and exhausted, but in that like really good way where you've used your energy, right? It's not just like a depression exhausted. So it was really sweet. And then she really wanted to be with mom, and she was like snuggly and hugging me and just really like, usually if she's wanting snuggles, if I'm in the middle of something, I'll say like just a minute or whatever, and Cadence will grab her, and she's usually really kind of cuddly with Cadence, and she was just like, nope, it needs to be mom right now. It needs to be mama. And so I just stopped and I just was there to snuggle her. And that is, she wanted that for like an hour. She just sat there with me and was like kind of rubbing her face against my face and just really connected and giving me these huge hugs and whatever. And I was like, damn, I have not been giving her enough one-on-one time, for, the child who actually had me to herself. I have paid too much attention to my screen, to my business and all of that while she's been home, that we have not had that connection. So that was a really big part of my realization and like deep, deep understanding of this is what I needed to come to realize, over the last couple of days. So, and then this evening was Cadence coming and talking to me, and it was just like, holy, the emotional roller coaster today. So anyway, that's where those things are at, and sort of like the reprioritizing that is going on in my mind. And it all feels very aligned, and I just need to figure out how my business is going to look different to fit into this and not the other way around. It is not this part of my life fitting into my business. It is my business fitting into this part of my life, because this is the main priority. So all very interesting and fascinating and all the things. But that is what I have for you guys today. And I will talk to you all tomorrow.